afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Thank you, everyone, for coming out today. It is an absolutely beautiful day here in Columbus, Ohio. A little better than it was last week, but we still have the sunshine. It's a really great day when you wake up and your calendar prompt says, remember to wear gym shoes. And I did. So the Central Ohio Community Land Trust is a subsidiary of COSIC, the Franklin County Land Bank, and we're proud to launch the first community land trust home here on the south side of Columbus, Ohio. Since incorporating in May of 2018, the Community Land Trust and its board of directors has worked on the land trust model to help solve the increased supply and demand for housing we see in our communities. We want to offer a permanent, affordable housing solution for working families in areas where people want to continue to live. The Central Ohio Community Land Trust has partnered with HNHF Realty of Nationwide Children's Hospital to provide single residential new construction homes on land bank lots. The homes will remain with the Community Land Trust in perpetuity through 99-year land leases and will provide opportunity to build equity, preserve home ownership, and maintain affordability for the first-time home buyer and subsequent home buyers who follow. What I can tell you, since I have been on the COSIC board of directors, is you come in expecting to go over items, but we go over it to the extent that everything that you could consider has been looked at, has been analyzed. It's a morning to lunch meeting. The individuals on the board take very seriously the responsibilities they have been tasked with. I'm looking at the board members and they're like, yeah, we're there from breakfast to lunch. It is an honor to have been a part of this process, watching it in its development, and finally today, watching a land breaking. It is always beautiful when something is broken so something can be built. It is now my distinct pleasure and honor to introduce somebody whom I'm very, very impressed with. One of the sayings is in our office is continuous improvement, building on the best. And the mayor of Columbus, Ohio, is that guy. Continuous improvement, building on the best. He's bold, he's thoughtful, he's caring, he's energetic, and he's doing the things for this city that we really need. And it is my honor to introduce our mayor, Andrew Coleman.
Good afternoon. What a great day on the south side of Columbus, and at least until I'm on the east side later on. South side's the best side, right, Curtis? All right. To the Central Ohio Community Improvement Corporation, to the great new CEO, Tim Robinson, Nationwide Children's Hospital. We are so thrilled about our past, our present, and future working together with you. To our great treasurer, Cheryl Brooks Sullivan. And I'll have the opportunity to introduce Councilmember Favor in just a moment, but to Reverend John Edgar in Community Development for All People. This is one of those days as mayor that you get so excited about, a momentous occasion, the start of the construction of the first home built through the Central Ohio Community Land Trust. Today is a good day for Columbus. As you know, our city is in an unprecedented time of growth, record low unemployment, and a booming housing market. But some neighborhoods have been left out of this success. And as we grow, some residents are finding it more and more difficult to find safe, decent housing they can afford. Folks feeling the squeeze in some of our great neighborhoods. We know that more than 54,000 of our neighbors live at or near poverty and spend more than half of their income for housing. We know that's not sustainable. As the city and region continue to grow, we must make sure that residents who work in the region can afford to live here too, to continue to make our neighborhoods special. To help address this issue, the city's land bank program has developed a partnership with the county's land bank that is a model for the nation. A land trust that will allow our neighborhoods to preserve affordability on a property permanently, ensuring that we are truly sustaining neighborhoods through unintended consequences that sometimes happen when communities and neighborhoods are revitalized. This new model of affordable home ownership will guarantee the house is not only affordable for the first buyer, but for each future buyer, even when property values continue to rise. In March, the City of Columbus committed $3.8 million to support the Central Ohio Community Land Trust, and those funds are being used to leverage other private and nonprofit funding sources. And we're grateful for our incredible partners at Community Development for All People, Nationwide Children's Hospital, and many other partners who work tirelessly to develop affordable housing through such initiatives as Healthy Homes, Southside Renaissance, Career Gateway, Parsons Senior 1 and 2, and Parsons Place Homes. On the South Side alone, we've developed low-cost housing opportunities for seniors, housing that pairs tenants with employment opportunities, options for formerly homeless individuals, and for families on all parts of the income spectrum. Great neighborhoods are mixed income neighborhoods where everybody has a place to call home. Today is just the beginning. The Central Ohio Land Trust will continue working with our partners to help provide all residents with housing they can afford, creating the vibrant and diverse neighborhoods that make Columbus America's Opportunity City. It is now my honor to introduce our great friend and ally. Folks that are interested in housing issues, we couldn't ask for a better advocate on Columbus City Council than our chair, our partner. Please welcome Council Member Shayla Faber.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. So look, I am so excited right now. I'm a person, I'm always smiling. You're probably gonna see me smiling even more today because this is just absolutely phenomenal. I have never seen anything like this in my entire life. And to have this on the south side of Columbus, a person who is committed to housing and making sure all of us in Columbus have safe, affordable housing. This is just one of those moments that's like top 10 for this entire year. So with that, let me go ahead and get started. Thank you, Mayor Ginther. I am Shayla Faber. I'm one of the newest members of Columbus City Council, and I am proud, if you cannot tell, to serve as the chair of the Housing Committee, especially on days like today when we can celebrate these great accomplishments. I again want to thank Mayor Ginther, the Department of Development, Franklin County, our partners at Nationwide Children's Hospital, and Reverend John Edgar and Community Development for All People for their work in making this event possible today. All of us know that we have a crisis with affordable housing here in Columbus. That simply means that we have too many families. In fact, nearly 54,000 households in our community are paying over 30% of their income on housing. This is a problem that is rapidly growing in Columbus. If we want to continue to grow smart, we must do more to uplift and support all of our residents, especially the most vulnerable. That's why I am so proud of the work we've been able to accomplish together as a community. Just a few weeks ago, we announced the Housing Action Fund, a partnership between the City of Columbus, Franklin County, corporate partners like Huntington Bank and others, and the Columbus Foundation. This is a $100 million fund that will be managed by the Affordable Housing Trust to offer low-cost loans to developers who commit to affordability requirements in our region. And today, I am thrilled to be a part of this completion of the first land trust home. This is important because it allows families who may have thought owning a home was out of reach to take the proper steps toward home ownership. and it also ensures the affordability of these homes in perpetuity. I want to take a moment to recognize Council President Shannon Hardin, who has been a major advocate of this work since the inception of the Central Ohio Community Land Trust. Thank you, President Hardin, for your leadership on this issue. None of this work can be done in silos. It is critical that we continue to work together to build a city that is safe, accessible, and affordable for all. That means not just the government sector, but our business and nonprofit communities as well. This past Monday at City Council, we passed legislation in support of Nationwide's Healthy Neighborhoods, Healthy Families initiative to provide grants for more safe and affordable homes right here on the South Side. We are proud to support our partners at Nationwide and community development for all people in this work. And with that, it is now my great pleasure to introduce Mr. Tim Robinson, CEO of Nationwide Children's Hospital.
Thanks very much. Good afternoon. This is quite remarkable, isn't it? On behalf of Nationwide Children's, we're just so proud to be part of this initiative. Thank you, Councilmember Favor, for that kind introduction and for all of your work in moving the Affordable Housing Initiative forward. You may ask the question, why is Nationwide Children's in the business of building houses and improving neighborhoods? This is our home. This is where we work. This is where our patients and families visit. This is where we hang out. This is where more and more of our associates live. So this has become our home and an important element of how we affect the health of children. The other thing that we have learned over the past decade in terms of research is that it is not only the medical care of a child, but those social determinants, housing, education, safe neighborhoods that impact the real health status of a child. So through our Healthy Neighborhoods, Healthy Families initiative, which we started back in 2008 with the great partnership of Community Development for All People and many, many others, we have been able to affect many of those elements that affect children. One thing that we've really focused on, as you know, is the housing initiative. And over that time, we have impacted 350 blighted or vacant homes and really reduced the vacancy rate down on the South Side from one of the worst to one of the better. And as a result, and in that process, we have sold 94 homes at an affordable rate to our community members. This is number 95. And we are so proud that it is on the land trust. We love the mission of that high quality, long-term affordable housing, and it aligns so well with our mission. So we are so grateful to be a partner with the city, with the mayor, with the treasurer in the county, and with our city council. So on that, it's my pleasure to introduce one of the true visionaries and leaders on the South Side, a true South Side hero, Dr. Reverend Edgar.
It really is delightful to be gathered with all of you as we celebrate this amazing moment. You know, it's more than a groundbreaking, it's almost like a barn raising, right? You know, in one day we get the whole thing done, or nearly so. And so I just want to take a moment to thank the folks who actually constructed this, which is Unibuild, and brought it over from Dayton, and KMM, which is around here someplace, are the folks that are putting it together here, did the foundation. And these are two wonderful partners in the development community. For just a couple of moments, my role is to say a few words about what this means to those of us on the South Side itself. Community Development for All People, where I serve as the executive director, we got involved in housing in a real small way back in 2005. We looked around at this community and what had happened in generations of disinvestment and the consequences of redlining. And what we wanted to do was figure out ways to reinvest in the community. And so we teamed up in those early days with an amazing partner in Nationwide Children's Hospital, the Southside Champions, and Bob Weiler's here, and then others, many of you in the room here, and we began to simply reinvest in the South Side. We bought up vacant, blighted properties, and we brought them back to life and sold them, as Tim indicated, as owner-occupied homes. And then we've also every year been making grants to existing homeowners so that a rising tide would lift all ships and that the folks who had been here could see their houses improve. And by 2015, we had become more successful than we had intended in one sense. What happened was that the blight pretty much was being driven away, private market forces were coming in, and property values had risen to the place where they were almost the values what it cost to actually produce the house. And that's a good equilibrium. And that allowed us to pivot. And so for the last few years, our mission now is to make certain that everybody that lives in this community benefits from this transformation. Yeah. And so for us, there are a couple parts. We've gotten real busy with a lot of help from many of you that I see out there to assemble millions of dollars of financing so we can now build hundreds of affordable rental homes and apartments, affordable to people between 50 and 80% of the average median income. And it's a game changer. It means we won't push our neighbors out as the community becomes more opportunity rich. Yeah. And at the same time, that we're working on that, and we know we've got some landlords that aren't playing by the rules that we wish, but we're creating alternative housing for those folks who may be victimized by some people who are not as scrupulous. But the point I want to make is that even with all that rental housing, hundreds of new units, the fact remains that as we listen to people in our neighborhood, we know a whole lot of our neighbors dream that one day they'll own their own home. And this land trust, it's a game changer. It allows a whole new group of people of very modest economic means to have the opportunity to become a person that owns their own home. Yeah. And then furthermore, as has been alluded to already, the folks who've created this land trust, these are some really smart folks who have figured out how to ensure affordability into the future. So the person that buys this house is going to get it at a discount and they're going to be able to afford it. And then they may live here for a decade or 2 decades. And when they sell the house, the next buyer will also be able to get it at an affordable price. And this is what's essential for where we want to go. So in closing, I would simply say that our dream is that the South Side continues to emerge as a community that is sustainable with mixed income, quality housing all across the economic spectrum. We are well on our way to doing that, maybe ahead of anywhere else, any other community that we know of. And so I stand before you to forecast that we are on the threshold of when people talk about the South Side as the premier neighborhood and community in all of Central Ohio. The best place to live because it's the one place where you can have neighbors of all different colors, all different orientations, neighbors who come at all different points on the economic scale, and we all live together in quality housing. We are building a community for all people. And now I'm going to turn it back over to our county treasurer, and she's going to finish up our event.
Thank you, everyone, for your remarks. I would like to take just a second to thank a couple of people who have not been acknowledged so far. Could the members of the COSIC staff identify yourselves? Could you wave at everyone? They've been working long and hard on this. Members of the Board of Directors, I see some of you here. Could you? Thank you, everyone. And do we have any of the advisory committee from the Land Trust? Anyone here? Thank you all very much. We appreciate everyone's remarks. We will go ahead and close, but what comes next is just as great as what we just heard. We're going to now see a portion of the building assembled. So thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Thank you for your support.
They gotta work.